Elite electricians from across America.
So look around to your left and to your right. Only 3 of you guys are going to advance.
Compete for their share of $500,000 in cash and prizes. From over 1,000 qualifying round events across the country. Over 30,000 electricians were narrowed down to 168 competitors. And it all comes to this one-of-a-kind showdown, the championship weekend. Who are America's greatest electricians? You're about to find out. Welcome to the 2017 Ideal National Championship, created by Ideal Electrical.
I'm your host, Chip Wade. Electricians from across the country have spent the past few months qualifying for a chance to compete for their share of over $500,000 in cash and prizes, and to see who will ultimately get crowned the Ideal National Champion. Over the next 30 minutes, the nation's top student apprentice and professional electricians will square off in individual and team skills competitions. Each round, competitors will be given a task that will test their knowledge on a wide range of skills and tools. Not only will the competitors be racing against the clock, but they will also be judged on the quality of their work as established by the National Electrical Code. Here's a look at the competition.
Up first, the single round, winner-take-all team competition. Then the student apprentice individuals take the floor for 4 rounds of high-intensity action. Finally, the main event as 68 pros face off until only the champion is left standing. For the team competition, 7 student apprentice and 7 professional teams will compete side by side in one 60-minute round. Their task is to complete an apartment kitchen and living room rough-in. The team's work must meet National Electrical Code standards, and the judges will also score based on overall workmanship, safety, and time. The target time is 45 minutes. After that point, deductions begin.
Returning professional champion Greg Anlicker and the boys of Team KELLENBERGER Electric are looking to overcome their heartbreaking second-place finish in last year's team competition. Well, they're back, they're prepared, and this year they won't settle for anything other than victory.
Will and Clay. Wow. Will is an animal. Clay is bold.
He is more of the inventor type, always tries to figure out a better way of doing it. Greg's kind of the brains. He absorbs all the information on the print, so you can ask him days later after looking at it.
Wherever Greg goes, this aura follows him.
The whole experience last year was crazy stressful.
It was total intimidation because I've never done anything like it. When you walked into that room, there's just rows of people watching, and there's cameras everywhere.
The judging was done not just on speed.
We were the first team done.
We were fast. We thought going to the dinner, we
thought we had it.
We lost.
Guys like us, that we have a competitive backbone. I don't like to run my mouth how good I am, but this year it's the want to win. We're fast, we're good, and it'll all show in the end.
The arena is set, the briefings are done, and it's time for the team competition. Successfully completing this challenge means mounting outlets at various heights and wiring them for a number of different applications you'd find in a kitchen and a living room. Light switches, TV and internet, disposal, countertop, a high voltage electric range, as well as recessed lighting boxes, ceiling fans, and smoke detectors. Each must be labeled and correspond to the correct circuit breaker. Each team in the professional competition is comprised of individuals who work together at the same company. Their familiarity with each other's work and capabilities is what allows them to accomplish the level of detailed work demanded of them in such a condensed period of time. The young pros on Team TORGESON begin hot on the heels of the established professionals of KELLENBERGER Electric.
We can't compare ourselves to somebody who's behind us. We were always looking to move up. So we need competition, and we kind of compare ourselves to them.
And meanwhile, KELLENBERGER mounted outlets and conduit, as well as an offensive of their own. The Illinois natives started down low, drilling holes and threading Romex, thinking they'd get the tough details out of the way with fresh eyes and plenty of time.
After last year, after losing, we knew we were going to be better and stronger, and we knew what our downfalls were.
KELLENBERGER's biggest competition? MULTITECH Electric. The returning champs had a game plan in place, but found they needed to improvise during the competition. Would that hurt their chances? At this point, it's anybody's game.
The returning pro champs, take me through kind of how was the process? Is it what you expected?
Maybe one guy in the ceiling starting, the other guy's down low.
We went in with a good game plan, and then after a while, we just started kind of leapfrogging.
We had a game plan and we adjusted on the fly.
Over on the student apprentice side of the competition, WEJATC out of Wichita, Kansas is an intriguing trio with a secret weapon in their midst. Returning individual student apprentice champion, Corbin Rios. Meanwhile, Andreas Penna and Minneapolis NJATC had to do their best to keep focused with some stiff competition across the aisle, in the form of Andreas' wife, Angela. Mr. Penna and his team maintained their composure and were the first student apprentice team to finish, scooping up maximum time points, while Mrs. Penna and her crew kept their strategy of focusing on quality. As the round drew to a close, some teams found themselves on the wrong side of the clock, not being able to finish, and hoping that the quality of their work would be enough to make up for the time deductions.
This is your 1 minute warning. 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, and done. Let's put your tools down.
With time expired and the judges' final tallies locked in, it's time to find out which teams triumphed and who leaves empty-handed. So we're gonna start with a Student Apprentice Team Award. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, Minneapolis NJATC, Michael Fox, Andreas Pena, Jeremy Welly, please come to the stage.
Exciting.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing. We worked hard. We planned this out for a long time, trying to communication, teamwork, always help each other out. Nobody stands still.
Oh yeah, and kicking butt.
All right, now let's talk about the pro team. Now these guys competed at the same time. They had almost the same tasks as the student apprentice, except they had even more to do. For this one, from Elgin, Illinois, KELLENBERGER Electric, professional team Greg Anlicker, Will Barnett, and Clay Noga. Come onto the stage.
Yeah.
Extremely excited. After last year of thinking that we had it and then finding out we didn't, I didn't want to like build myself up and thinking I had it, so I just went on the down low, like, whatever. And then when it happened, it was awesome.
The Ideal National Championship is a great event that brings together top electricians from all over the country. Let's take a look at the company behind it. Ideal Electrical is part of Ideal Industries Incorporated, a global company that has grown under 5 generations of family ownership. Ideal has always maintained a strong commitment to the trade and giving back to the community. More than 100 years ago, the company was founded on the goal to build ideal relationships with the employees and clients, customers, and partners. Today, Ideal is proud to have a family of brands that are global leaders across industries, from electrical and data communications to aerospace, automotive, and more. And Ideal Electrical's commitment to the men and women who power our world remains as strong as ever. Their mission is to champion electricians, whether that means giving back to the trade schools or creating the Ideal National Championship. It's all part of building an ideal world.
With the team champs crowned, we're moving on to the solo rounds. First up are the student apprentice individuals. In many professions, employees begin their careers after attending school. And in the electrical trade, electricians spend 5 years as a student apprentice, working and going to school simultaneously. After completing their 5-year apprenticeship, they become professionals, known in the trade as journeymen. 2016 champion Corbin Rios returns this year, ready to defend his title after a heart-wrenching run-up to last year's competition.
The 4 kids I have are a handful. I mean, it's always something new, but we're big into sports.
They follow Corbin around everywhere. Anything that he does, they do. Watching it is just absolutely amazing.
So last year, my son, who will be 4 in December, Noah, he started puking a lot, and You know, we went to the doctor. Well, what they had found was he actually had formed a blood clot in his brain. Doctor comes back and is like, well, I have some news. It's not really good news, but we're gonna airlift your son to Kansas City.
That was the most heartbreaking and scary thing. Me and Corbin just looked at each other and both of us just lost it. You know, we didn't have any answers. We didn't have any idea what was going on.
You know, I tried out for the competition and had set a qualifying time, so I was, you know, thinking, oh, I have a chance to go there and I could potentially win some money if I, you know, do my best. And, you know, we had such a rough year, why not try to end this year good? And the day we actually left for the competition was the day we got the news that he doesn't have to take shots anymore. Give it my all at this competition that came to play here and ended up winning the whole thing. Definitely winning helped with the medical and getting everything taken care of for him. This competition has opened doors for me, and you know, I qualified and wasn't sure how it was going to go, and then next thing you know, I'm the champion of the first year.
Corbin and 62 of the country's top student apprentices took to the arena for a 4-round skills showdown that had more than a few surprises in store. The early rounds featured a lighting retrofit and a panel trim out, both of which are fairly straightforward tasks for these elite student apprentices. But between the lights, the crowd, and the pressure of $30,000 on the line, nerves were a factor.
Try to stay calm, keep the nerves under control. That's always a big one, and then just trying to stick with the plan that I come up with, whatever the briefing gives me.
How nerve-wracking was it having this many competitors side by side with you?
This year, as opposed to last year, I just toned them out. Done. I'm like, it's me, it's only me. I'm gonna get this done.
So, looking around at all the competition, is there anybody that's standing out that you feel like you really need to watch out for?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody's my competition. I watch out for everybody.
At the end of the first round, 62 became 28. And from 28, only 8 made it to the semifinals. Among the standouts of the early rounds and moving on to the semis is upstart apprentice and Minnesota native Jeremy WELLE.
So what's going on? Are you the special sauce? What's going on?
I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but, you know, let's hope so.
How many times would you say that you wired up a panel like this?
Thousands. You know, we do a lot of big apartment buildings. Some days it's, 15 at a time. I saw the challenge and I was pretty excited.
In a shocking upset, one of the casualties of the early rounds was defending student apprentice champion Corbin Rios. We caught up with Corbin after the cut.
A little disappointing, but I'm definitely gonna be back next year. Give it my all again. It was the last round that really got me for sure. I was like the 6th one done, and I was hoping my mistakes, first round was good enough to help me carry through, but obviously it wasn't quite there, but just figure out what the next qualifier is and start figuring it out and definitely try to get that time set so I can be back next year.
We spoke with one of the judges to get some insights on how he goes about scoring the overall competition.
As a judge, what is it that you're looking for?
Well, we're looking at the safety while they're working. We're cutting things on their legs, how the area around them is. So we want to make sure there's a big safety part or component in that beginning round. And we're just watching how they're working. Are they clean? Are they neat? Are they moving?
Excellent.
The semifinals were all about conduit bending, a task that requires concentration and precision. One of the major differentiators in the semifinals was how the competitors executed their saddle bends. Using the shortest length of pipe and keeping it as snug to the wall and the obstacle as possible is the goal. Bends that are too high used more pipe and caused irregularities in the work that resulted in point deductions for a number of our competitors. Between these elite student apprentices, the smallest error can be the difference between advancing or going home.
The final 3, in no particular order, are Donald Riggs, next up, Jeremy WELLE, and last but not least, Michael YASS.
The final challenge is a simulated bedroom. The challengers are given 60 minutes to install a ceiling fan, to cut and install recessed lighting fixtures, and to wire and install control switches. Point deductions begin after 40 minutes.
You feel good?
Feel good.
What do you think your odds are?
1 and 3.
1 and 3? You're a smart man. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Jeremy Welle started wiring and installing switches, and then moved on to assembling and installing the ceiling fan and lighting fixtures. In a move that surprised some of the skilled members of the gallery, Donald Riggs chose to build the fan first and then mount it.
That fan, we were all impressed. You were pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah.
You rocked it.
Yeah. I've never done a fan that way. I always put the motor up, wire it, and then add the blades, you know? And I'm like, watching you put the blades on, I'm like, what is he doing? They're like, oh, that's the way we always do it. I'm like, I guess I'm the weird one.
I only like going up the ladder once.
Yeah.
Michael Yass measured and drilled all 3 receptacles with his ideal bimetal hole saw first, and then took care of the switches and wiring, with the fixture installations to finish. How do you feel like you did?
I think I did good, so hopefully the quality trumps the time this time.
Well, you know, the time, you were still within a couple of minutes. I think it's really gonna come down to what the judges find. What was your time?
I don't know. 40
Let's
minutes.
look. 40 minutes, 31 seconds. That is phenomenal.
It's intense.
How was it?
It was intense. It was definitely intense. It was a lot to get done. And, you know, I think I nailed it. We'll see what happens, see what the judges say.
The work is done and the scores are in. It's time to find out who will be crowned the 2017 Student Apprentice Ideal National Champion and take home the $30,000 grand prize.
In third place, all right, from Indianapolis, IEC, Donald Riggs. From Becker, Minnesota, Minneapolis JTC, Jeremy Welle comes in second place, which means from Bayshore, Sunrise Electrical IBW Local 25, Michael Yass is our winner.
It feels amazing. Very thankful for everything that I've had. I want to thank my father and my stepmother and my mother-in-law and everybody who's babysitting my kids right now.
Hi, I'm Greg Anliker.
I'm Will Barnett.
And I'm Clay Noga.
And this is your behind-the-scenes look at the championship weekend and the tools we used during the competition. Let's take a look at the linesman pliers and the combo head screwdriver.
Both of them are go-to tools during the competition.
First up, here are the linesman pliers. These are great because they're so versatile. You can use them to cut and crimp, pull a fish tape, you can even ream conduit with them. And that's what helps us kill all the challenges, no matter what they are.
Linesman pliers are one of the most important tools we carry, so it's huge to have one we can count on when every second counts. Now, let's check out the combo head screwdriver.
Speed is a key factor in the competition, and this one is specially made for electrical work, so we can count on it again and again.
And the secure connection gives you the power you need to ace every part of the competition.
Learn more about these 2 American-made tools and see the full product lineup at idealind.com.
Enjoy the competition.
And don't forget to look for us out there.
But enjoy the competition mostly.
No, you better look for us out there.
All right, but I'm gonna enjoy it.
And I'm gonna be looking.
Achieve your American dream. Take control of your future. Advance your career with today's leading companies. Grow your success with independent electrical contractors.
This is my future electrician. This is my little buddy, that's for sure.
The Ideal National Championship is about more than competition. It's a celebration of skill, of achievement, of friendship, and family. For a majority of our electricians, it's a rare opportunity to break away from the well-worn routines of daily life and a great way for their families and children to get a glimpse into their world.
Did anybody come with you this weekend?
I got my best friend right here.
Oh, how did I know that? This
My
is
Angel Stephanie. I love this girl.
Ideal Electrical is a family company, And the ideal national championship is as much of a celebration of family as it is a showcase of skill. Not a single competitor in the arena would be where they are without the generous and loving support of their families. Because it's not just about the work, it's about the people you do it for.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to determine the best of the best in the individual professional competition.
The preliminary rounds of the professional competition put the electricians to the test, terminating three-way switches, cutting and bending conduit, installing service meters and corresponding conductors, and identifying errors and shorts within existing work and tracing dedicated circuits.
How do you feel about this particular challenge? It's a little bit more intense than you would say.
A lot of wiring, yeah. Three-ways and four-ways, there's a lot of wiring. Mixing the pipe to add a little more screwing around, but I've always been used to three-ways and four-ways, so.
As the rounds wore on, some of our pros fared better than others. Time was definitely a distinguishing factor.
A couple of little, hitches in the get along, pulled one wire where I shouldn't have, tried to pull that out, but we'll see how it goes, it's a pretty difficult little thing, I got one more little connection there. I didn't finish in time.
And the championship wasn't short on characters. Texas native and seasoned journeyman Jeremiah Bibby, affectionately dubbed Tex by his fellow electricians, kept it lively in the arena, especially while competing.
By the way, my name's Jeremiah. I like walks on the beach. I love the Dallas Cowboys. Where's the crowd at? Come on, where's the crowd at?
And when time expired, there were only 3 pros left standing.
All right, when I call your name, take one step forward for me, all right? In no particular order, Greg Anlicker. Roman RYSZEWSKI. Seth Agnew.
The finals are set. 2016 champion Greg Anlicker has once again positioned himself as a contender for the national championship. Greg entered this year's competition as a heavy favorite to defend his title, but he's about to face his toughest competition yet. Dark horse challenger Roman RYSZEWSKI out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania made a strong statement for himself in the early rounds and enters the finals with skill in spades and a quiet confidence that puts the wind of momentum squarely at his back. And Osage Beach, Missouri's Seth Agnew stands a serious challenger to Anlicker's throne. Backed by unwavering support of his wife and bolstered by the desire to put his potential winnings towards growing his family.
Yeah, if God gives me the strength to get the prize, we would love to use the money to adopt. We're really praying for adoption.
Yeah, we're working for adoption.
And I'm doing it with all I have.
We're moments away from the pro final, a commercial retrofit install. They're going to have to bend conduit and run wire for 6 different electrical circuits of various amperages, all to NEC standards. They have 75 minutes to complete their task, with point deductions after 60. Scores through the first 3 rounds of the competition were cumulative. In the finals, the slate is wiped clean. May the best electrician win.
3, 2, 1, go! Let's see this!
Roman approached the challenge with poise, control, and discipline, a clear reflection of his years of experience. His attention to detail came at the cost of time, with his decision to focus on precision bending and meticulous wire work. Roman was going to need every point possible in order to have a shot at dethroning reigning champion Greg Anlicker.
I think I did good.
It looks great.
Overall, I compete to the 2 best guys in the nation.
How's Greg doing? He's killing it. This is straight up his alley. The BX thing kind of throws a loop in it. We don't deal with that ever. But steel studs, the brackets, the rings, the boxes, the pipe, yeah, right in his wheelhouse.
Do you feel confident?
I don't like the look of that conduit at all.
You get a little bit shy of 90 on those?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And my kicks are my kicks are too large.
Is there anything else that you missed, or do you think you got everything?
I think I got it all.
Awesome.
I hope.
In stark contrast to Roman's steady pace, Seth Agnew attacked his work with passion and veracity, giving everything he had left in the tank. Seth's strategy relied on his speed in an attempt to pick up points for time. But ultimately, he was left with lots of wire to run and terminate, and not much time to do it, finishing behind Greg and Roman just before time expired.
How'd you get through it?
Perseverance and God, that's about it.
That was intense. Down to 2 minutes left before you were done.
With the professional competition wrapped up, the competitors will only have a moment to catch their breath. Their fates rest in the hands of the judges, and the judges have spoken.
Third place finisher, I could tell, it's pouring his heart and soul. Please join me in a genuine congratulations. Catalyst Electric, Seth, AGNEW. So here we are right now between first and second place. Second place first, from Elgin, Illinois, Greg Anliker. That means the winner of the 2017 Ideal Nationals is the one and only Roman.
I want to just say thank you to the guys I met last year. Minnesota, Mike, John, Sam, and their friends. They support me all the time. Thank you. I came only one guy from Pennsylvania, and guess who I am now?
I don't want to even call my wife. Tell her she's got a 75,000 because I might get home with a big debit.
Hi, I'm Greg Anliker, and this is your behind-the-scenes look at the championship weekend and the tools we used during the competition. Let's check out the Ideal wire connectors. As electricians, we count on wire connectors day in and day out, and these guys set the standard for quality. They can handle hundreds of different wire combinations, plus they're built to last, simple to fit, and resistant to cracking and crushing. And nothing in our job is more important than making safe connections. Here at the championship weekend, every event is judged on safety, and I know I can count on these. See the full lineup of wire connectors at idealind.com.
The Electrical Training Alliance congratulates all of the highly skilled participants who competed in the Ideal National Championships. The IBEW and NECA team combined to deliver the largest, most advanced, and world-class training for electrical workers. Congratulations to our platinum-level training partner Ideal for hosting such a quality program. We are proud to partner with companies like Ideal.
That's all for the 2017 Ideal National Championship. On behalf of Ideal Electrical and everybody here, I'm Chip Wade. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next year.
All right, thanks Ideal. Second year was better than the first, I would say.
I just want to thank Ideal, first of all, for making this happen.
Think you've got what it takes to compete with the country's best? The Ideal National Championship will return this year. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action. To see more of this year's competitors' stories and to register, go to idealnationals.com.